Hi, I'm Dennis Phillips, and welcome to Everyday Reloading and Shooting. All right, welcome back. Once again, we're at the Georgia Gun Club's 100-yard indoor rifle range, and today I'm doing what we could think of as the final exam for the 23.8 grains of CFE223 powder and the 75 grain Berger VLD target bullet. We found two groups at 23 thousandths and 39 thousandths off of the rifling, thereabouts. Here's a couple of those pictures. And so we're going to zero in on these today. I'm going to shoot a 5-shot fouling group, and then I'm going to shoot two 10-shot groups loaded at each of those two seating depths, and we will see how they compare. As always, you're welcome to enjoy the music while I fast forward through my shooting, or you can skip forward to the results that follow, shooting at 100 yards. All right, I think we found one that shoots pretty well here, so let's bring it in and take a look. All right, we have a pretty round cluster here, and we have a pretty tight cluster here with 3 off to the side, but 7 out of 10 here are showing really tight. But I suspect, I don't know, as far as mean radius goes, this may be the tighter mean radius because it's more of a rounded group. This was the fouling group. It was the same load as this right here, but I did raise the scope 1 click so as to not destroy my point of aim before I started shooting these two. They're pretty even as far as in terms of the elevation, how high above the point of aim they're centering. But I don't know, it's kind of hard to say. We'll have to measure them, and we'll see what the mean radius looks like and the group area size looks like. All right, so stay tuned. All right, the final exams have been graded for the 23.8 grains of CFE223 powder and the 75 grain VLD target bullet. So here we go. These velocities were all over the place. I have no idea why, but on the first group, we have an average velocity of 2595.6, and on the second group, it was 2601.2. Well, that's not very far off on the average, but on group 1, the standard deviation was 74, and the extreme spread was 211 feet per second. These cases are all being filled with the same powder measure, and I'm checking these with the beam scale as I go and verifying the charge weight all along, so don't know why there would be such a variance in the velocity. For one thing, I think I may be having a problem with my chronograph, because out of 10 shots, and all of these are measured out and counted out, but out of 10 shots, it only measured 8 out of the 10. And on the second group, we had a 64.5 standard deviation and an extreme spread of 189, but that one only measured 7 out of 10 of the shots that I took. So not sure what's going on there, if it's only measuring 7 out of 10, if it's not measuring some and it is measuring others, maybe the ones that it's measuring are wrong. So I'm going to have to take that up with Garmin to see if we can resolve what's going on there. But in any event, here's how they turned out. The first group, we're shooting at 26 thousandths off of the rifling. we had a group size of 0.98 with a mean radius of 0.30, and it covered an area of 0.59 inches. Now, a mean radius of 0.30, a radius is half of a circle, so if you double that, that gives you an average group size of 0.60. And that's verified by the fact that if you take the area and if you multiply the height of the group times the width of the group, you get an area of 0.59 inches, so very close to that 0.60 average group size. Is shooting about 1/3 of an inch to the left and 0.69 inches high above the point of aim. I set that deliberately so that it won't destroy the point of aim. On the second group, it's still shooting slightly high and to the left again, 0.63 inches high and 0.57 inches to the left. Here we had a group size of exactly 1 inch. On the first group, it was 0.98, so here it's 1, so only 2/100ths of an inch apart on the group size. The mean radius here was 0.33, which would give you an average group size of 0.66, so very close to the 0.60 average group size of the first group. It covers an area of 0.57 inches compared with an area of 0.59 inches, but it's shaped differently. If you look at the two, this one is more rounded and this one is more like an L shape. You've got a vertical string here and a horizontal string here joining together with a few clustered together here horizontally, which would seem to indicate that you've got a good velocity node when you have a horizontal stringing like that, but the vertical, that's probably the outliers that drove that extreme spread up on the velocity. So anyway, I do think we have a load here that'll work. I may even try to get a little bit closer to the rifling here on the 26 thousandths. We may go in a little bit closer there, maybe to 15 or even 10 to see how that performs. Some bullets just don't like jump, so we may try that and see if we can get this a little bit tighter. So anyway, these are my results. I hope you find this information helpful. If you have any ideas, comments, thoughts, suggestions, please leave those in the comments below. I try to interact with everybody that comments. I hope you will like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.